Hey all, thanks for dropping by. This is my video about my attempt to solo the Deadmines on my little gnome Warlock Grandma Shadow. It's a hardcore character, so that means I cannot use the auction house, I cannot trade, I cannot group with other players unless they are also hardcore players. And yeah, you're just responsible for all your own stuff, so you have to get your own gear. So that's extra challenging. Also, you cannot do dungeons at a level that's higher than the Summoning Stone level. So the maximum level to try the Deadmines is level 26, and that's what I did. The whole dungeon took pretty long, so I just edited all the boss fights together, yeah, just so you can see what the gist is. There's some small things that happen throughout the run, and I'll probably pause it to like explain a little bit what happened or why I do stuff that I do. And for the rest, yeah, just check the video. I hope you enjoy. Alright, so this is my first pull on the first boss. I didn't try it before. Well, of course, I did the boss many times, but I didn't try to solo it before. So I just wanted to see how it goes. You see me just blasting right away, putting all my 3 dots, wanding. But I didn't really expect to take aggro so fast. And once you take aggro when you have dots, you're pretty scuffed because you can't really dispel the dots. So you just see me waiting it out a little bit. You see, I let my dots run out. I don't even attack, I try not to wand. I see if my AoE taunt from my pet is off cooldown, but it isn't yet. It would be now, but yeah, it's too late. So I sacrifice the pet and I run out. This is my very first pull, and I have to admit though, when I was playing this, I was like, yo, how am I ever like gonna get past this first dude? Because the main problem is, I can smack damage, like you gotta deal DPS, right? To kill him before he kills your pet. But the main problem is, if you take threat, your pet is useless, and the shield won't live long enough to deal like 3k damage, right? So here's the second pull. Here I decided I had to take it a little bit easier. So you see, I only pull with the Curse of Agony. It's a really slow building up dot. So it's a good one to pull with. Your Voidwalker will almost always take aggro just with a single auto attack, even if the taunt fails. But yeah, I'm not spamming my dots like in the previous fight. I'm just figuring out, because in the bottom right you can see the threat. And I cannot pass the threat of the pet, right? Like he has the tank, because the boss will slap me for sure. And like I showed before in the previous video, once you have threat and you get dots going, like the pet is never gonna get it back. So you have to make sure that once you take the threat and you decide to keep it, then you have to be able to kill the boss before he kills you, right? So here I'm just experimenting a bit, just playing safely, healing the pet. I'll speed up the video a bit because it takes pretty long. So yeah, I've been fighting the boss for a bit, and now my pet is about to die. So now you have to make the decision, like, when are you gonna sacrifice it, right? So you see that the boss still has 1700 HP, and my pet is around 200. I heal him for 30 per tick, but I think I do 2 ticks while the boss does 1 attack. But you can see the boss, he slept for around 80 there before, and now he missed one, so that's good, I can get some more heals in. But I kinda wanna sacrifice the pet when I feel like he can't take another hit. There he got a big crit, he got crit for 176, and it freaked me out a little bit. So I sacrificed him right away, because if he would take 1 more auto attack, it'd be done. And if the pet actually dies, I don't get the shield, right? So I really need the sacrifice to be utilized. And here I just have to power through a little bit. Yeah, I'm a gnome, so I don't really have any movement speed or anything to run fast or whatever. I have tailoring and enchanting, so I also can't do much with that. So what I'm trying to do here is just get the boss as low as I can before I want to kite him, but then he suddenly crits me for 220, and well, I booked right away at the right time, so that's good. And that was it. So not too bad, he dropped the hammer, pretty decent. One thing I also want to show you here is yeah, the danger of just having a wrong pull, right? You have to play a bit scared because, yeah, obviously it's hardcore. You're trying not to die, so that's what I'm doing. So I was waiting it out until the mob patrolled away. Then I pulled him, but then he pulled another dude, and he also pulled another dude to the side. And here I just decided to run, man, because for me it's not worth it. Like, I can try and fight. Here you see me thinking a little bit, like, should I try? But what if the pet dies here, right? What if there's still 3 alive? I can fear 1. And then what if the pet dies, then I'm scuffed, right? So in the rest of the dungeon, I've always been avoiding 3 pulls with 3 elites, because I think it might be a little bit too much. And the problem is, without the pet, if the pet doesn't hold aggro, you're not much, man. You're just a Claudie with a 30-second shield, and that's about it. 30 seconds isn't enough, I think, to run to the end of the dungeon. So yeah, I just kept the thread on my pet, then I decided to book it. And the pet, I always feel like the pet has a bit more movement speed than the hunter pet, because when I call him to me, you see now he's not taking any damage, he's just following me. So I run out and I reset. The next fight is a sneeze fight. It's basically the same as the previous one. Same issues. You just gotta keep your pet alive, and you gotta make sure you don't take too much threat. Healing also does threat, so if I have a health funnel on my pet, then I also have to be a little bit careful. But I can see the threat meter, so it's fine. I'll fast forward it a little bit until the end, like when I have to sacrifice my pet. So right here is the moment when I almost decide to sacrifice my pet. I see he's getting slapped for 60, so as long as he's above 60 HP it's fine. If he doesn't get crit, of course. And then he was like at 62, so I wasn't sure if he was gonna survive another auto attack. I did take the demonology spec, so I just summon a quick extra Voidwalker, so I have another shield if I need it. But I'm getting a little bit scared, I'm not sure if it's enough. You see, I still got half of the boss's HP left. Got this Voidwalker here, one shield is done. Boss hits for almost 100, so that's a lot. So I sacrifice the second pet. And that's when I have to try. I have to just go for the full spell summon. And if I can make it before the shield runs out, then I'm good, right? Then I can just spend soul shards to keep going forward. But it's pretty close. So I decided like, I just gotta slap it out, man, slap fight. So I sacrificed the other one as well. Maybe I could have done it a bit later, but I only realized that now when I'm looking it back. But I probably should have waited a little bit, because it's also DPS, right, the Voidwalker. So I probably should have waited till I was a little bit lower. Because now, yeah, it's very exciting. Take the Hellstone, and I just want it out. And I can't do anything, right? If I start, like my wand is like half my DPS. So if I start running now, I'm scuffed. So yeah, I just gotta hope I survive. And I do, which is nice. 3 sacrifices, pretty good. And now I gotta book it right away, because the sneeze is gonna jump out, right? So I don't want to pull him right away. I want to drink, I want to summon my Voidwalker. So I'll do that first. And then I'll go back in to kill Sneed. So then we're moving on to Sneed. It's basically the same as the previous bosses, right? Just tank and spank. I have to admit though, he slaps pretty hard. I didn't expect that. But yeah, I was thinking this is just basically a mob, 2400 HP, it's double elite. But you see now, like I've got him around 85 or 80, 75%, and my pet is already on 50%. So he's not gonna survive it. So I have to think right away, like, I have to sacrifice again. But I tried to stretch it as long as I can, right? Because the pet is also DPS. And while the pet has aggro, it's also nice that I can just freely cast. If I want to get like an immolate or a corruption on the boss while he's hitting me, then it takes so much longer, and it's just way less efficient. So there I sacrificed the pet. I'm on 450 and Sneed's on 700, so it should be fine. I use the time that I have at least a shield on me to at least free cast everything. And then it's another slap fight. Just hope nothing gets resisted. I hope you dodge something, right? And the winner takes all. What I did learn recently though, and that's really nice, maybe you've noticed that I've used it on the past 2 bosses, is when bosses are low HP, like under 5%, I think their movement goes down. And I never really knew that, but it helped me out here. Like I had moments where I wanted to run, I wanted to book it, but I was like, no, the boss, he's on 10%, I'm not sure, like maybe I can get another extra hit in. And you can notice that when I'm running away, the bosses are actually slow. So the previous boss and this dude as well, Sneed. Yeah, they're pretty slow when they're under 5%. I'm not sure what the threshold is, but it's pretty useful, especially as a Warlock since you got dot sticking anyway. And you don't have a lot of mobile damage. Like I said, I got 1 instant cast, that's the Curse of Agony. And it builds up really slow. It's not great DPS, it's good for pull and it's good for damage over a long fight, right? But just kiting and putting Curse of Agony is not gonna kill much. So then we're on to the next boss in the Cauldron, or Forge, or whatever you want to call it. I always call it Cauldron, but I don't think it's right. I just wait for the right betting. I just hope that I can solo pull this boss. If I can, it's not a huge problem, because I can just fear the mob, right? But it would be nice if I can, so I'm looking for a way Like they seem to move randomly. So I'm looking for a moment where the boss is closest to me and the other mob is far away. So here, you see there? Pop. They take a step away from each other. So I feel really smart, but I still messed it up, so it doesn't matter. But like I said, it's not really a problem. I can just chain fear the mob. I don't want to waste like too much stuff on him right away. The boss, the priority, he deals the most damage, and I just gotta get him down, right? I gotta keep my pet up, gotta get the boss down. I do have time to just mess with this mob a bit, walk towards him, put some dots on him, and just keep fearing him. Because if I go full damage on the boss, I'm gonna take aggro anyway. So that's not a good plan. But you see, this dude, he doesn't hit so hard, man. Like, I've just I've been dotting him up at the pet tank him, and their HP, yeah, he's on 70, my pet is about 40, like 50 now maybe. So it ain't too bad. Just gotta stick it out. I'll fast forward it a little bit because, yeah, it's just a drain fight. So here you see I had to sacrifice, but I'm not too worried. I can just fear the mob, finish the boss. I do have the cooldown again. It's a 15-minute cooldown to summon the Voidwalker faster. So I can get him out again to at least help out with the DPS on the mob there. Only problem is that I don't have mana. So it's a little bit exciting, but I have this shield going. I have another shield that I can put on. And the Curse of Agony is like the cheapest one to put on. So it's nice, but also, like I said before, over a longer amount of time it's good damage. It's just, it doesn't do so much damage at the start, so it's great to pull with. And here I get some mana for fear, I can just fear him again. And that's all good again. And so I just finished off the mob, not a big problem. I made sure to clear like the whole area before I started the boss fight, because fear is always a bit unpredictable. And of course you got the Curse of Recklessness, but I don't like to spend mana like changing curses all the time, right? I'd rather just clear it, and it's probably gonna take longer, but it just feels more clean and I just like it more. So that's the add down as well. Loot the boss, and I get the blue ring. I was pretty lucky here. So here, we're at the ship, and where you see me standing right now, this is the spot where I planned the kite smite. So I pulled him up, and you see I don't want aggro on my Voidwalker because I need to know if the kite works. What I did see here is this. You see, I jumped on the ledge, and they didn't reset. And I knew that was an existing issue, and that's why I wanted to test it out with these mobs, because I've seen it before, and I can't really get hit by smite, right? Like if I just stand there for a little bit too long, I mess it up with smite, and he's gonna hit me like 2-3 times, and I'm scuffed. I don't know if you saw it there, but the mobs froze a little bit. That's also a thing. So if you stand on the ledge for too long and you let the mobs come under you, then it becomes an evade spot. I'm not sure how it works, but somehow they think like if they swim through the water, they can reach you there. Look, here's the same again. It doesn't reset. So I'm not sure, but these are the last two mobs. So yeah, I can't really test it on much more before I start fighting smite. And I just have to kill them as well, of course. I can't just be messing around all the time. Especially when the kite didn't work. But I'm still a bit anxious, because when that happens with smite, what am I gonna do? I don't have a single escape. Maybe I can throw like a 6 slot on the back and distract him, but that's probably not gonna work. Alright, so I cleared the ads and then we're gonna go on to smite. I have detect invisibility, but I'm pretty sure you can just get close enough without pulling to at least mark them. Yeah, I'm not sure how good the lesser invisibility is at level 1, but it doesn't matter, it works, it's good. So here my plan is to do the same kite that I just showed you guys on the other mobs. I practiced it a little bit, so I had to figure out like where to stand, how to do it. And yeah, I'll move forward. There's like one hairy moment, so I'll fast forward to that. It's a really long fight, and then I'll explain what happened there. And this is the first really spicy moment. Like Smite is running towards me, see the stealth ad as well, and they're not resetting. They're starting to hit me. I'm standing there, double dodge, really nice. And I'm just looking because I cannot run. If I run away, then I lost the spot, right? So you see me like sidestepping, taking tiny steps to the side, just to try and outrange him. And luckily I found it, which was really nice because yeah, like I said, I don't have a target dummy. I don't have movement speed. If I have to run, I have to run all the way back. I could go for the lantern or the chainy fade spot, but I didn't because I got it working again. So that's nice. And you see me now being extra careful, right? So like way before he reaches me, I just jump on because I don't want him to be close. I'm not sure why it happens, like why he sometimes doesn't take it and why he sometimes does. This was very unlucky, is what I said before. And Smite reset there. So he's back on 100%. We gotta go all over again. And it's because I was on the ledge too long. It's what I said before, like if you let the mob swim like exactly under you, it turns into an evade spot. And I'm not sure why. But yeah, that happens to Smite, so well, at least I got one add down, but I gotta kill Smite all again, so I'll fast forward again. So yeah, even though there were some spicy moments, we managed to do it. It's pretty nice. I'm really happy with this because this was the main boss I was worried about. I wasn't sure how to handle this thing. Because like I said, I saw it before with the use of the spot, but I also saw the spot fail. So I wasn't sure. But it went well, so nothing to complain. This dude ends up dropping a blue, or a green I mean. I think at the end of the run I got 4 blues. So what I'm doing here, I'm trying to figure out something. I have a kite tactic. It's mainly for Van Cleef. You can kite him around the boat, you'll see in a bit. But you can do it with these dudes as well. So I wanted to check, because what I noticed before is if I pull one mob and I stand on the evade wheel, but my Voidwalker has aggro, then I can kill the mob with range, he doesn't evade. So what I'm trying to do here is figure out if I can tank one mob, right here, where I'm standing right now, while the other 2 are evading, so that I can clear him before I kill the boss. And maybe I'm messing it up, maybe it's an actual tactic, but right here it doesn't seem to work. I gotta jump a little bit early because he cannot freeze me. But here you see the ones in the back freeze, but the Voidwalker as well, so it doesn't do anything. Voidwalker spawns on me. The mob there is still in range to do like his little blast. I don't realize right away, but I think he hits me with it in a second or something. And then I take a step back and I reset. So yeah, all good. Not too bad. I know this isn't gonna work, so I'm gonna have to figure something else out. But then I'll want to kill Cookie first because it's a kite around the boat. I'm pretty sure I won't aggro Cookie when I'm on top there. But you just never know. So I went around, went to kill Cookie. Cookie isn't too bad. He's got, you see my Voidwalker is a little bit green now. That's Acid Splash, I think it's called. And it just does some damage. Like 15 nature damage every 3 seconds or something. Which isn't, it's a lot, but it ain't too bad. Like I'd rather have it on the Voidwalker than on me. I can just heal him. And yeah, not too much special. I'll just fast forward a little bit again. So right here, Cookie's about to die, and I'm a little bit lucky and a little bit unlucky, because I didn't manage to sacrifice my Voidwalker in time, but Cookie runs away in fear. So it's perfect. He kills Voidwalker and he starts running. But nothing I could have asked. And he drops the wand. So that's the second blue. Très bon, très bon. I don't really need the wand because the other one is more DPS, but I like the fact that my previous one is fire damage, and I like to spread out the damage, right? So I like that I have an arcane wand, fire and shadow spells. Especially sometimes you have mobs and they decide to reflect one school of magic. And like killing them up with immolate only, pff, that's not gonna work. So here, this is the kite that I'm gonna use. I test it. So I wait for the guys to patrol away, and I use my Voidwalker to see like how the mobs behave, right, when I jump here, because the Voidwalker is basically a mob. So yeah, you see, oh, there he is. So then you have to walk all the way around here. I give my Voidwalker an icon, so it's easier for me to follow him also behind the boat. And then yeah, just stick to the wall here, stick to the wall, and then suddenly you walk up to like this little piece of wood. You can move further, and then just jump here, and then it leashes all the way around. So look at the moon. You see it goes all the way around the boat, and it goes basically to where I am right now. See? But then you can just jump on the platform and you can do it again. So it's basically an endless kite, and it's really nice. It's great for this fight and also for Van Cleef. So that's how I do those. So I'm getting ready for the pull. I'm standing on the platform already because I want to jump on the left side, right? So if I would pull all the way from the right side, it would be a shitty position, because then I would just have to walk through all the mobs before I can actually start the kite. So what I do here, I wait for the boss, and I wait till I can send my Voidwalker in. And there we go. Important thing is that I need to have aggro of all three before I start the kite. So let's say I'm gonna be a smartass and I'm gonna aggro one, and I'm gonna jump down, and my Void Walker still tanks 1 or 2. Then the whole kite is scuffed right away. You have to reset, unless you're, I don't know, maybe there's a way. You don't always have to reset, but it's very likely you have to reset. So I call my Void Walker in, and yeah, all good. I took the aggro. I turned off the auto taunt and the AoE taunt as well. So you might think like, oh, why did you randomly get aggro? But that's because I put the dots, and if you put the shadow dots like Corruption and Agony, they don't tick right away. So if I would cast an Immolate, it has an instant damage. So then I would take aggro right away. And with Corruption and Curse of Agony, I don't. There's always a little bit of threshold for the person or the mob that pulls, so I'm using that. And here it's just running circles, doing the same shit, waiting on this side until the mobs are here. Target them, put a curse, and jump. And that's it. So I'm gonna fast forward it. It's I don't know. I would like to say it's very easy because, yeah, well, to be fair, if you look at this, it is. But you'll see later in the Van Cleef fight, there were some spicy moments where I like got trashed. So I got like 3, 4, 5 attacks at one time, and for sure that's something that you do not love to see, especially as a Cloppy. So yeah, but it ain't too bad. It just be patient. You know, mark the mobs, know where the mobs are, and then you should be fine. And just yeah, try to deal damage, try to dot them, right? Like as a hunter, you would probably do Serpent's thing, and I'm throwing some curses. Yeah, it's gonna take a long while, so I'll fast forward it again. So yeah, that's it. Just a long ass kite, and be patient. And I use the Void Walker to just keep slapping him. He doesn't slap as hard as the dot, and if he doesn't use taunt, the threat is basically just 1 damage is 1 threat. So I can win it easy. Pet is almost dead though, so I can also just sacrifice it, which I do. And I'll just finish off the boss, like 500 HP. At the moment it's basically just a normal mob. I would be surprised if he hit like crazy hard. But of course you've also got the shield, so if you got the shield you cannot get crushed, you cannot get grit. There's a lot of extra safety to a shield, it's not only absorb. And I do it, I get the Emberstone Staff, perfect, love to see it. And then we're moving on to Van Cleef. Van Cleef is the same as the Smite mobs. If you stand close enough, especially with the lesser invisibility, you can find the mobs, you can target them. I mess it up a little bit because I got like square and cross here, and I also give Van Cleef cross, so I have to remark the other mob. That's it. I don't think there's anything particular about this. You got like the second group of ads, you got them spawning at 50%. I decided to keep them stealthed, which might be nice, but it also might not. I think I might have gotten a little bit lucky. Like you could search for them, but then you have to get close, right? So I just did the normal kite, and as long as mobs are stealth, they move really slowly. So that's really nice. So now I'm just mentally preparing myself a little bit, typing to my chat. There are some people watching, so that's really nice having some support while you do this. That's great. But I was pretty anxious, right? Like, it would be a shame to die here. Alright, so my plan for the pull here is to have my pet aggro it, because I need the 2 extra ads out of stealth. So I need them to engage on my pet, but then I also need to take aggro. So first I'm going hard right away. Well, not hard, but just I'm putting all the dots on Van Cleef. I just want to do as much damage as I can to him and to the others while my pet is still alive. You see, I have the taunts active right now because I need it now. I almost jumped here, but this is what I said from the previous fight. I have to get them together. So I waited out a little bit. I sacrificed my pet, so I had aggro from all 3, and then I jumped down. I'm really happy I decided that at the right time, I guess, because I didn't think about it at the start. And when I was about to jump down, I was like, no, don't jump. So that was very nice I didn't. Because can you imagine, the Void Walker would like die now, at this time, right? And then the 2 ads would reset onto me, and they would screw up the whole kite. They would just be halfway or not even together. So here I'm waiting a little bit, and it's exactly the same. So I'm gonna fast forward it. Like I said before, I do get hit a couple times, so I'll pause it at those times. So here is where in my mind it started to get a little bit spicy. On the left side you can see the respawns are starting to come in. And that could potentially mess up my whole kite. If I get respawns in the area here where I'm kiting, then yeah, it's gonna be impossible. Of course there's still the evade spot, so I had that in the back of my mind right away. I was like, okay, if I'm gonna get respawns I have to reset, I have to get on the wheel, clear again, and then try the boss fight again. But eventually I didn't have to, so that's nice. And this time my faster demon summon is off cooldown again, so I decided to summon the Voidwalker. I tried it before as well, but then the cast is so long, of course, and I just cancelled it. Like I said before, I'm not in a rush, I'm just trying to survive, so I'm not trying to do spicy shit like finish a 10-second cast without getting hit in between here, right? So I thought, okay, sure, I'll just continue the kite, and I'll summon my pet later again. Now I can put him on the ads, which is nice, because I kind of want to kill the 2 ads before Van Cleef hits 50%, or you'll get 4 ads. So, yeah, that was my main goal. So I'm going for that now. One thing you can see pretty well now is what I explained before. Like, you see that the skull is moving way faster than the other signs. And that's because Van Cleef is still on higher HP, and the mobs are already on low HP, so they're starting to slow down a little bit. And like I said, I'm not sure how that exactly works. I just know that like the lower percentage the mob has, the more his movement speed goes down. This is also where I get hit. You see, there were 4 attacks in one time, so that was pretty sketchy. He missed 1 or 2, I think. So I got away pretty okay. But yeah, I was like, oh snap, I gotta pay attention. So I walk around here again. The idea of this kite, by the way, is that you walk all the way around here until you hit the wall. And the point there is that the mobs are not gonna jump, right? So they're gonna walk all the way around the boat. So that gives you enough time to get upstairs again. Then they're just gonna walk upstairs, but if you would stand on the other side of this wall, you would just get slapped. So here, I get slapped again. Again 4 attacks. And this is what people in chat were also saying, like, dude, don't get hit. And yeah, they're totally right, but I did. I do make a new healthstone right away. I really like the fact that the healthstone doesn't share the cooldown with the potion. I don't think I end up using the potion, but still. 1 circle kite is about 30 seconds, so a 2-minute cooldown isn't too bad at all. And this is the moment where yeah, he actually dies. I couldn't really believe it. Took a long time, but yeah, it's a perfect tactic. Works really well. Way better than like the smite kite, where you have the room for error. So you got 700 XP. That's nice. Here again, I'm typing in the regular chat, and then the 2 stealthed mobs come out, right? Like the 2 mobs who come out when Van Cleef's at 50%. At first, my pet couldn't take aggro because I didn't have my taunts turned on, because I didn't want him to taunt, right? But that's not really a problem, because this is the whole kite area. I can just also fear endlessly here. So first I wasn't phased at all, and I see my pet is taking a little bit of damage, so I decided to just fear the mob and finish them off. And that was it. The last mobs in Deadmines. Yeah, here I just had to calm down a bit. My hands were shaking. I was just, like I said, it's not so hard, but it gives you anxiety, man. Like, you're playing, and if you, yeah, you all know it. If you die, you die. You're done. So I really tried to avoid it. So here I turned on my screen again. I started typing to chat, like, oh shit, yes, we did it, boys. And luckily, shout out to Fergazi. Fergazi reminded me to loot Van Cleef, which was a pretty nice idea. And what does he give? His head, the letter, and another blue, guys. 4 blues in the solo Deadmines. You'll love to see it. So yeah, that's it. My solo Deadmines adventure. Because of the respawns, I just hearted out right away, so I didn't take like a nice ending picture to finish it with, because I was scared, and I was just so happy that I made it. So that was it. Well, if you're still around, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, like if you like, of course, and enjoy the day. Bye bye.